What happened to Patra? History, songs, and lifestyle. Dorothy Smith was born on November 22, 1972, in Kingston, Jamaica, West Indies. Patra, previously Lady Patra, is a DJ, singer, and aspiring actress who has been highly touted/hyped as the female version of Shabba Ranks. She signed to the same management in 1989 under the supervision of Clifton Specialist Dillon. She also works for the same record label, Epic. As a result of the increasing commercial demands put on her, her work has shifted from strict dancehall to include soft love ballads. It will be great if you like and share this video. Also, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon next to it to get notified when we add new, interesting videos in the future. Now let's get back to the story. Patra grew up singing in churches in Westmoreland, where she relocated from Kingston when she was a child. She had 4 brothers and they were raised by their single mother. Patra's father died when she was just 3 years old. Her passion for singing was always visible as a kid, and she quickly entered local singing/DJing competitions in high school. Major Mackerel, among her early admirers, pushed her to return to Kingston and try her luck at the studies. Gussie Clarke was the first to voice her, after numerous others had refused her. However, such denials were simply a temporary issue. Following her sessions with Clarke, she was sought after by Shocking Vibes, Exterminator, and others. Sites such as quote-unquote Holler Feed the Woke, quote-unquote Visa Hole, quote-unquote Man Me Love, and quote-unquote Worky Worky demonstrated her remarkable abilities. Following this modest success, she performed her first large gig during the Sting 1988 festivities. By the time she signed with Epic, Patra's singing voice had surpassed her DJ abilities, as seen by the track quote-unquote Sweet Memories, the first output of Fresh Sessions, though it was originally released by Tachion's Sony Ochai. Surprisingly, it reached number 1 in Japan's reggae charts, but Epic will undoubtedly seek more tangible domestic success in return for their investment. Patra stated in a 1994 essay, quote, "I grew up in the country. I was raised in the church, which ingrained in me morality and ideals. My mother raised me and my 4 brothers. I am the second kid. My father died when I was 3 years old. Therefore, my mother has been my role model for a strong black woman, and I know I have her strength." Unquote. Patra began singing in her church choir and afterward dabbled with DJing. At the age of 15, she realized that music might truly be her life. Quote, "I always enjoyed music, but up until then, I didn't really think about my goals." Unquote. Patricia admits, quote, "I listened to Tina Turner, Patti LaBelle, Sade, and Alexander O'Neal in addition to several Jamaican singers, and of course, Michael Jackson. He truly taught me how to dance." Patra originally earned a name for herself in the United States with 2 significant guest appearances: duet with Matt Cabra on quote-unquote Really Do It, and a vicious reggae rap on Richie Stevens' Body Slam. But it was the release of Patra's underground 12-inch song quote-unquote Hardcore by Epic Records Group that introduced the American public to her actual talents. In October 1993, Patra released her first album, Queen of the Pack, as well as the song and video quote-unquote Think About It, which paired Patra with Lynn Collins and the P-Funk Horns for a dramatic dancehall remake of Lynn's 1972 top 10 R&B hit. Patra's following 3 videos, quote-unquote Queen of the Pack, quote-unquote Worker Man, and quote-unquote Romantic Call with Yo-Yo, all became top 10 favorites on the box. Patra won Best Female Artist for quote-unquote Worker Man at the 5th Annual Caribbean Music Awards, which were held in March 1944 at the Apollo Theater in New York. She won Best Female DJ and Best Crossover Song at the 13th Annual International Reggae Awards in Chicago, or quote-unquote Family Affair from Addams Family soundtrack. Patra won Best Female DJ at Canada's Reggae Music Awards for the 2nd time. By July 1944, Patra's Queen of the Pack had spent 13 weeks at the top of Billboard's Top Reggae Albums chart, the longest stint at the top in the list's history. The album was certified gold for sales of more than 500,000 copies the following December. In addition to her own album, Patra collaborated successfully with CNC Music Factory, quote-unquote, Take a Toke, and Guru's Jazzmatazz 2 set, quote-unquote, Young Ladies, as well as participating in the all-female superstar recording, quote-unquote, Freedom, for the soundtrack of Melvin Van Peebles' film Panther. Jamaican dancehall music has its first international queen of the genre, and her name is Patra, noted Vanity Fair. She reigned supreme once more in 1995 with Scent of Attraction. Patra has matured like fine wine. The Queen of the Pack made headlines after making an appearance at an Essence magazine party, and she has been hard at work since then, preparing for her comeback with a new team, a new record, and a new approach. Patra's 1993 track Queen of the Pack, also the title of her debut album, was inspired not just by her own self-awareness, but also by her desire to empower women all over the world. The artist claimed that the statement was one of respect and expression of her gender and ancestry, which she got from a relative who compared her to the Egyptian queen Cleopatra. Quote, "It's a very deep subject for me. I majored in ancient history. I've been interested in Cleopatra since I was a child, and as I became more popular, I began doing research because people would ask me in interviews if I knew anything about her." Quote, "Queen of the Pack was the title track I wanted for my album, so I started thinking about it, and that's how the song came to be. It wasn't about competing, it was about being a woman and honoring my African ancestry and culture. I also had braids at the time to fit the African theme. Saying I'm a queen of this and that wasn't a brawl. I judge you by your record sales and your appearance as an artist. It is a total package for me. It's a sex appeal thing, and I was representing all ladies because someone had to say it at the time," unquote. She told the Sunday Gleaner. The Westmoreland native described being a quote-unquote country girl determined to carve out a place for herself in a male-dominated sector and pave the way for future women. In recent years, dancehall has seen its fair share of ladies who have labeled themselves with various titles, such as Spice, who consider herself the quote-unquote queen of dancehall after Lady Saw turned to Christianity a few years ago. There's also Bad Gal Jade, who calls herself a quote-unquote young dancehall queen, while Shensia and her Shenyang supporters claim the title quote-unquote princess of dancehall. While Patra admitted she's not up to date on contemporary dancehall events, she emphasized that quote-unquote queenship should not be conferred arbitrarily. Quote, "Being queen of the pack is a lot about leading, educating myself, and wanting to know where the real Cleopatra comes from and what it takes to be a queen in whatever area you're doing for me. If you're a woman who cleans up after herself and has a store, you're a queen in your own kingdom, but I don't think the term should be used casually. Me coming from the bush and growing up poor, when I left and moved to Kingston, I received a record contract in a year, which was a major deal. When I say queen, it's not a nasty term, it's a strong word, depending on how you use it," unquote. Romantic Call, Worker Man, and In the Mood is among the other tracks on the Queen of the Pack album. After a long sabbatical from music, this queen has added the entrepreneurial crown to her list of triumphs by opening the Chateau 7 restaurant at Red Gal Ring in St. Andrew. She stated that the editing process for her future culinary program is now underway and that it would appear on both local and international television. A cookbook is also in the works. Quote, "This is going to be big-time stuff. I'm creating goods to test in the future, something I couldn't do if I hadn't taken a vacation. I've also had the opportunity to reflect on how wonderful God is, because I grew up in church and the kingdom of God was always within me." Patra moved to New York City at a time. She made a lot of friends with the biggest stars in the industry. She also made a shocking appearance with rappers Yo-Yo and Tupac in her music video for the track Romantic Call. The Notorious Big had her in his hit single quote-unquote One More Chance. After she released her sophomore album, Patra disappeared for many years while her fans were in wonder of what might have happened. She later popped up in 2003 with the album quote-unquote Great Escape, and later released another album called Where I've Been in 2005. Later, in April 2005, Patra was arrested in Montenegro Bay for fraud. She has been accused by some individuals in the entertainment industries of accepting money to attend overseas events, but never showed up. She was charged to court, but was later granted bail. She then took another long-time break after all the charges to clear her head. She left the industry for many years to be with her family, working out, cooking, and writing her autobiography and finishing her education. In 2014, Patra signed a new deal with a record label that gave her another opportunity to showcase her talent in the music industry. She released some singles after the contract with the record label before releasing her new album, quote-unquote Patra the Continuation. In 2013, the year before she accepted the new deal, there was a much-discussed dancehall part of the BET Awards for which Patra was invited but apparently declined to perform. Patra said on Winford Williams' On Stage that she had a great connection with the BET network but was approached by the wrong quote-unquote messenger. Quote, "I'm the type of person who likes to speak for myself, and because of all the things I've been through with my career, I'm very careful with the people who might come and say there's an opportunity somewhere and I should just jump at it," unquote, explains the Worker Man vocalist. Quote, "BET is like family to me. I know a lot of people from BET. And I was called. But I was called by the wrong messenger. I have to reserve the right to decline certain situations no matter how important it is, especially when it comes through the wrong message line," unquote. "I think I did the right thing because if I'm doing something especially to represent reggae music, it has to be done right. Because I'm a very private person, I'm not very easy to get to, but sometimes you have to have a little lifeline to have people keep in contact with you. But sometimes it just gets carried away. I didn't decline on doing the performance, it was just at the wrong channel to have me perform," unquote. In terms of the album's viewpoint, she states that she intends to elevate reggae music to a new level and disprove the stereotype that Jamaican music is all about girls whining and gyrating. Quote, "I'm not a dancehall artiste from day one. I'm an artist and I do different types of music. So I think being a Jamaican, I have the right to do reggae music. What I found out about sweet reggae music now that I'm getting ready to promote it is that it has taken me into a different era with a different type of a fan base, and I'm the queen of the pack, so there's no reason for me to compete against anyone. I think everyone needs to focus on what they're doing because I've worked hard to gain on what I'm trying to expand on here, so for me, it's not a show-off thing or joke thing," unquote, Patra expressed. That's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please like, subscribe, and share the video. Please leave your thoughts in the comments section. Thank you, and see you on the next one. Bye.